The automotive industry is getting increasingly technology intensive and disruptive in nature. And in that, the commercial vehicle segment is set to see some new technologies. And what they are, let's hear it from the top management of Ashok Leyland, India's second largest commercial vehicle maker. And I have with me Mr. Shenu Agarwal, who has just recently taken over as the managing director of Ashok Leyland, and Dr. N. Saravanan, CTO. So, starting with you, Mr. Agarwal, tell us in terms of the focus of Ashok Leyland, in terms of becoming more technology oriented or strengthening its in-house technology. What kind of approach have you devised?
See, the approach is very, very clear, and approach has to be towards the future, right? So more and more of our investment and more of our effort is going towards the new technologies, both in the space of the new alternative fuels and also in terms of better and better safety. That is clearly the roadmap. I normally think that along with technology, the other important thing is also the culture, because both of them have to change side by side. Culturally also, companies like ours have to be very different from what we are today. We have to be more innovative, more less risk averse. We have to encourage our employees, our stakeholders to take more and more risk and be more and more different.
You spoke about the investment on new technologies. Currently, in terms of the R&D spend, how much is it, and do you expect it to kind of grow over the next say 2 to 5 years or so? Considering that you are some of these technology which are under development will see some maturation, maybe entry to market.
Yeah, see, these investments have not been in these technologies for few years now. And these are all long-term horizon investments, right? So over the years, it will continue. I think broadly, we do invest about 2% of our revenue in R&D, and more or less, it would be in that range. May increase slightly from that, as also our investments on the traditional vehicles will continue to gradually decrease, not drastically, but gradually, and the other side will continue to gradually increase, right? But as the industry is moving well, and Ashok Leyland is also able to improve its performance and the top line, so our in terms of absolute numbers, the investments will continue to go up.
Dr. Saravanan, we are standing next to one LNG truck. LNG is seen as one of the most promising kind of fuel in terms of in the list of alternative fuels. When do you expect for LNG to become a kind of significant share of the heavy or medium to heavy commercial vehicles?
I think I'll talk about what I can control. I can control the product readiness. From a readiness perspective, we are already there. We are, in fact, the first to get homologated LNG vehicle in India. So what we are waiting for is the ecosystem to develop. The CNG LNG station to come into picture. This is seen that starting to happen because seeing a couple of tenders coming up from LNG perspective. We do believe over the next 12 months, we'll start seeing some volumes of LNG in the market, especially starting with the long haul vehicles.
Recently, you also kind of entered the CNG market. So after diesel being the mainstream, CNG increasing its share. Do you think LNG will be the next big thing in the commercial vehicle industry?
They will coexist. Right, for example, the lower tonnage vehicles, primarily because it takes a lot more physical capacity to store CNG for long range, right? The reason LNG will pick up picture is because the long range you need to have a large amount of storage of gas, and LNG is one good way of storing the gas. So we'll see the long haul vehicles, gaseous fuel moving to LNG. The shorter, the medium GVW vehicles will be CNG. So they'll coexist. There'll be some form of transition, may not be a black and white, but there will be transition between CNG and LNG.
And hydrogen, you showcase both hydrogen fuel cell as well as hydrogen ice. So between the two, one line of belief is that hydrogen ice is more practical, may not be as clean as hydrogen fuel cell because you don't have to reinvent the whole wheel of the powertrain. So do you think that it applies in the case of commercial vehicles, and do you see that happening?
Yeah, I think so. In hydrogen IC, while they say it's not clean, it is clean from a carbon perspective. It is zero carbon. The only pollutant is some small amounts of nitrogen, but that's again levels lower than what you see in Euro 6 and maybe in Euro 7 levels. We do think it's a practical solution. from an entire ecosystem perspective, not just as an OEM who has the skills and technology, from a supplier perspective, from an ecosystem perspective, from a customer perspective. He's seeing a very similar engine. Imagine as a driver in India suddenly opening up the cab and they see something different in the fuel cell. So we believe it is probably the right compromise from India. That is one. The other perspective is the air quality in India coming in. Fuel cell requires very high air quality, requires very high levels of purity of the hydrogen. So given all those, we believe in the medium term, hydrogen IC makes sense, at least from that perspective.
We are here at the Auto Expo. We have seen some of the passenger vehicle OEMs really showcasing some of the vehicles with ADAS technologies, and that in the commercial vehicles also kind of is seen as the next territory for this technology to kind of make inroads. So and you also have some alliance with AI drives for autonomous. So how do you see that? At what level do you expect, say, let's say L1 or L2 level of ADAS in commercial vehicles?
So I think what we'll see is, unlike passenger cars who have introduced a lot of technology in the ADAS, in commercial vehicles we'll start seeing ADAS in closed environments. For example, the AI driver has been working in terms of for a port application. We are working with a partner to say, can we implement an EV terminal tractor with autonomous? Yeah, there is opportunity there. Similarly, in one of the vehicles we actually have a partner called Letradyne. We are working with ADAS level 1 with them. So we are looking at multiple options. While we don't see a mass sort of migration towards ADAS because, of course, infrastructure and all that, we do see pockets of it getting implemented over the next 1 to 2 years.
Lastly, Mr. Agarwal, technology as a card, technology as a pillar. How crucial will it be for you to realize your stated goal of becoming one of the top 10 commercial vehicle makers globally?
Yeah, see, I come from a company that was in a challenger position, and I think Ashok Leyland is also in a challenger position. And see, challengers always love the change, because when the ecosystem changes, when the environment changes, challengers have a better chance to aim at the leadership. So I am personally loving it, the way the industry is changing. And I really think it is a great time for Ashok Leyland to be ahead of the curve and to make a difference.
On that note, gentlemen, thank you very much and wishing you all the best.